What's up? What's up? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Music. Today we are continuing on reading through Think and Grow Rich. And what we're going to focus on today is the fourth step today towards riches, which is specialized knowledge. And I just want to say I love this chapter. It's definitely not my favorite because there's so many other golden chapters in here, but specialized knowledge is cool because it's essentially what this whole book is, which is specialized knowledge. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Um, what I'm going to do for this week is I'm just going to read a little bit page by page. Thank you, D. And what's going to happen is at the end of it, like always on Friday, what's going to happen is we're going to do a little summary of specialized knowledge. So right now it's going to sound like audible, but it's going to get better as we go along. So this is chapter 5, specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations, the fourth step toward riches. There are two kinds of knowledge. One is general, the other is specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. The faculties of the great universities possess, in the aggregate, practically every form of general knowledge known to civilization. Most of the professors have but little or no money. They specialize on teaching knowledge, but they do not specialize on the organization or the use of knowledge. So Napoleon Hill goes on to say that knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite end of accumulation of money. Hill says that lack of understanding of this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who falsely believe that knowledge is power. It is nothing of the sort. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. Okay, so that was a pretty big paragraph right there talking about knowledge, and I really want to break it down. So Hill starts it off with knowledge will not attract you money unless it is organized and intelligently direct it through practical plans of action to the definite end of the accumulation of money. So let's take this back to college, for example, right? I graduated from college and it was great. It was specialized knowledge, but uh but the question is like so why didn't I get rich from going to college, right? Uh what was the difference between the knowledge I received in college versus the knowledge that is kind of presented in this philosophy here? So the knowledge that I received in college was great. It was an engineering degree I got. It was great stuff. But did I organize it and intelligently direct it through practical plans of action to the definite end of the accumulation of money? So I went to school to actually I thought I was gonna be able to invent something and start a business out of college like that. So I'm not saying college is bad, it's just on me. Like I just didn't I'm not following what Hill's saying here is I did not organize and intelligently direct it to get rich. I didn't invent the thing, so to speak, right? I ended up just realizing, okay, I can just become a salesman and have someone who already has a great product and I can just sell that. So that was kind of the route I've taken. And I'm not saying I'm excluding the opportunity that college has like shown me and paved me the way, but I'm just saying Hill's pointing out right here why I'm not getting rich from just going to school. And this is like a big misconception that everyone believes when they do go to school. So Yeah, I mean, Hill says it perfectly. Lack of understanding of this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who falsely believe that knowledge is power. It is nothing of the sort. So that's where I was. I was confused. I was like, why? I am so like I was a straight A student. I was getting all these great grades. I was going to school for mechanical engineering. Why was I not getting rich? It's because I did not understand the other part to knowledge. You got to intelligently direct it and through practical plans of action. So that's what I was missing out. There was the first half, which is knowledge, the second half, which is intelligently directed through practical plans of action. So he says, knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to definite ends. Okay, so let's break down the power, right? Because like what are we looking for? Why are we reading this book, right? We're looking for that secret, right? Doesn't Napoleon Hill say in the beginning of Think and Grow Rich that no fewer than 100 times has the secret been exposed on the pages here? And it's saying here, right? Like you can have all the knowledge in the world, but that is one half of the equation. Let's look at it like a math equation. So you got all the knowledge, right? Let's say it's organized knowledge. You went to school. But are you directing it? Am I directing the knowledge into practical plans of definite action towards the accumulation of a definite end? Let me repeat that. So the second half of the equation, do I have plans of action that I'm going to take action on that I'm actually going to do, and is there like a definite end to this? Like why am I getting this knowledge? So that's just a big breakthrough for me that I'm realizing, like why am I so smart but not rich yet? And so that's really interesting to think. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Hill goes on to say this missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today may be found in the failure of educational institutions to teach their students how to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it. Many people make the mistake of assuming that because Henry Ford had but little schooling, he is not a man of education. Those who make this mistake do not know Henry Ford, nor do they understand the real meaning of the word educate. That word is derived from the Latin word educo, meaning to educe, to draw out, to develop from within. An educated man is not necessarily one who has an abundance of general or specialized knowledge. An educated man is one who has so developed the faculties of his mind that he may acquire anything he wants or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. Henry Ford comes well within the meaning of this definition. So I really want to pause there because that was a huge nugget that he threw out. This is kind of going back to the idea no fewer than 100 times has a secret been revealed to this page. So, what is the secret in this paragraph? What is an educated man? Like, are you educated because you have a college degree, or is there another definition to the word educated? And I really do love Napoleon Hill's definition right here. I'll repeat it again. He says, an educated man is one who has so developed the faculties of his mind that he may acquire anything he wants or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. So so essentially it's like Hill is putting it that we have a mind. We have all the abilities that we need. Are we putting our mind to use to get whatever it is that we want? Can I confidently say that I have everything that I want and I know that I can use my mind to get everything that I want, right? And if I can't answer that with yes, then I can't necessarily say that I'm, so to speak, educated. That's that's really interesting stuff because I always thought I was educated. I was a straight A student in school, right? You think like, oh my God, you're so educated, you should be making so much money. But there's a difference between the definitions, right? I know how to pass the test, but do I know how to organize knowledge, direct it through plans with definite action to attain a definite end result. So that's a there's a big distinction there is essentially what Hill is saying in what I'm trying to emphasize here. So he goes on to say, during the World War, a Chicago newspaper published certain editorials in which, among other statements, Henry Ford was called an ignorant pacifist. Mr. Ford objected to these statements and brought suit against the paper for libeling him. Yeah. When the suit was tried in the courts, the attorneys for the paper pleaded justification and placed Mr. Ford himself on the witness stand for the purpose of proving to the jury that he was ignorant. The attorneys asked Mr. Ford a great variety of questions, all of them intended to prove by his own evidence that while he might possess considerable specialized knowledge pertaining to the manufacture of automobiles, he was, in the main, ignorant. Mr. Ford was plied with such questions as the following: who was Benedict Arnold, and how many soldiers did the British send over to America to put down the rebellion of 1776? In answer to the last question, Mr. Ford replied, I do not know the exact number of soldiers the British sent over, but I have heard that it was a considerably larger number than has ever went back. Finally, Mr. Ford became tired of this line of questioning, and in reply to a particularly offensive question, he leaned over, pointed his finger at the lawyer who had asked the question, and he said, If I should really want the answer, if I should really want to answer the foolish question you have just asked, or any of the other questions you have been asking me, let me remind you that I have a row of electronic push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I desire to ask concerning the business to which I am devoting most of my efforts. Now, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter up my mind with general knowledge for the purpose of being able to answer questions when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge I require? So, like Henry Ford is just like, bro, I can push a button, any answer I need to any dumb question that you're asking me, I can have a man come to it, tell me it like that. So why should I clutter my mind with all this general knowledge? So there certainly was good logic to that reply. The answer floored the lawyer. Every person in the courtroom realized it was the answer not of an ignorant man, but of a man of education. Now Hill goes to say, any man who is educated, who knows where to get knowledge when he needs it and how to organize that knowledge into definite plans of action. Let me repeat that. Any man is educated who knows where to get knowledge when he needs it and how to organize that knowledge into definite plans of action. So let's put it this way, right? We all got the internet. You're watching this through some form of the internet, YouTube, Facebook, right? Like it's being live streamed right now. We all have the internet, but I notice there's some people, and I do look up to them actually that are utilizing the internet in such a way that is making them millions of dollars. And then there's others that are utilizing the internet just to get a bunch of general knowledge stored into their mind through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram, all this stuff, right? They got a ton of general knowledge. And I'm not saying it's not entertaining, but what are you doing with that knowledge? So that is very interesting. So if you know how where you can get any source of information, let's face it, all the information that you could possibly ever want is out there right now currently on the internet. It is all there. And this is a reminder to myself. It is all there on the internet. This is the first time it's really been established, like in the past like 20 years compared to the entire history, that all the resources of information is literally at our fingertips. And if you know where to get it when you need that knowledge and how to organize that knowledge into definite plans of action, then that would be fair to say that Napoleon Hill would say that you are indeed an educated man. So keep that in mind, the distinction between what society says an educated person is and what Napoleon Hill in this book, Think and Grow Rich, in this philosophy is saying that an educated person is. Through the assistance of his mastermind group, Henry Ford had at his command all the specialized knowledge he needed to enable him to become one of the wealthiest men in America. It was not essential that he have this knowledge in his own mind. Surely no person who has sufficient inclination and intelligence to read a book of this nature could possibly miss the significance of this illustration. I'm going to repeat one line that I glanced over, but that was so key. Napoleon Hill says, it was not essential that he have this knowledge in his own mind. So do I need all the knowledge that's out there in my mind before I take action? No, that's not what Napoleon Hill is saying. What is he saying? He's saying that take the action, know where to find these resources, right? Know where to find the right mentors, know where to find the right information. It could be books, YouTube videos, it could be in this day and age anything. Like it's all, let's face it, it's all right here on our phones, all the information that we need. Do you know where to find it when you need it? And are you able to not only find it, but organize it and then apply it and take action on the information that you found? Before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge of the service, merchandise, or profession which you intend to offer in return for fortune. Perhaps you may need much more specialized knowledge than you have the ability or the inclination to acquire. And if this should be true, you may bridge your weakness through the aid of your mastermind group. Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into the chapter on power, which is further down. I think it's after persistence. Oh wow. All right, so it's right after the chapter on persistence. I think that's chapter 10. We're on chapter 5 right now. So in 5 weeks, we're gonna be talking about power, the mastermind. But it's cool because when you truly learn the idea of incorporating the mastermind, you might have people in your mastermind that have the knowledge that you don't have but you need, and that's where the harmony comes in. So we're gonna dive deep into that, and Napoleon Hill is really just getting at, like, you don't need this knowledge yourself, but remember, this is a philosophy. It works. I've seen it work for many, many successful people. And what we're doing here is we're diving deep into it to really pick apart like what is Napoleon Hill really saying in this book, in this philosophy. So I'm gonna leave it there because we got 5 minutes till 12:30. What did you learn? What did you like from specialized knowledge? Just to pick out a few points that hit me, I like to understand the difference between knowledge and applied knowledge. Knowledge and taking action with definite plans backed by action towards a definite end of the knowledge, right? I felt like Napoleon Hill put really well, there's a clear and distinct difference. Another word I really liked was what an educated man really is. Like, I may have a degree from Penn State University in mechanical engineering, but do I do I consider myself educated and be like, okay, I don't have to learn anymore. Like I did some hard stuff. Like it's not easy to get this degree. Should I just like call it a day, say, oh, I'm educated, I don't have to learn ever again? Or do I apply a different definition to what the word educated means? And what is Napoleon Hill saying the word educated means? He's saying an educated man is a person who has so developed the faculties of his mind that he can acquire anything that he wants without violating the rights of others. So let me ask myself, like, can I get whatever it is I want in the world? Can I use my mind in a way that I can get whatever I want without violating the rights of others? And truth be told, I'm not yet getting everything I want. So would it be fair to say that I'm an educated man? And truthfully, the answer is it's not no, but it's not yet. All right. So I really enjoyed that. And then finally, I felt like the last main idea that really stuck out to me in these first few pages was the idea of just the story of Mr. Ford. You don't need all the knowledge. Like, all right, let me ask you actually, instead of saying it, do you need all the knowledge in your mind? Do you personally need all the knowledge before you go out and do the thing you say you're going to do? Or can you develop a mastermind group, which is a further principle that will be applied in the philosophy, and have people that have the knowledge and expertise that you need? Can you apply that as you're on the way too? Do you need to read every book before you finally start getting rich, right? I will tell you from experience, I've personally read over 100 books, and I will let you know I did not get rich from that. And it's like, okay, so like what happened? And it's because like I got all this knowledge, and even though it was organized knowledge, was I applying it? Was I taking action on it towards a definite end? And so there's two big parts of the equation that I'm starting to really realize right now from what we're reading so far. So we're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna actually head to lunch right now. I want to thank you all for watching. This was definitely some good stuff because this has been a chapter that I've been glancing over, like specialized knowledge, boring. Like it makes me think of school again. But now diving into it the way that we are, it really is. I mean, like let's face it, every one of these steps is a key to this philosophy. And we've uncovered in the first reading that if you don't master every one of these steps, then like you might as well you're basically not going to get it. It's not going to fully click for you. So that's why we're diving so deep into this stuff. So I want to leave you all how I always leave you until we meet again in time and space. Facebook, I will see you soon. And YouTube, as always, peace out.